here to speak to us on our global theme of movement. Please welcome to the Creative Mornings Charlotte stage, the one and only Lauren Widrick. Come on up here, Lauren.
Good morning. It's a good morning. I got to shake my ass already. First thing. Got to twerk a little bit. It's a good morning. It's a creative morning. I'm so excited to be in your energy today. Thank you for having me. This is a dream come true and an honor. So introductions of these things are kind of weird, right? So I'm just going to start by telling you this. My name's Lauren. I drive a minivan in the streets, and I'm a freak in the sheets. So why did I start my talk that way? Well, it actually begins with a tale of stand-up comedy. So around this time last year, I decided to finally scratch the itch to try stand-up for the first time. And that was the topic of my talk. It was all about being a suburban minivan driving mom with a hidden freak flag, okay? And I thought I would slay, because I do this sometimes. I stand on stage. Some of my friends tell me I'm kind of funny, so I'm like, I'm totally gonna kill this stand-up thing. And as it turns out, I sucked. I bombed on stage. This is the picture of the bomb right here. And it's not that I just was sort of unfunny. I literally forgot my lines and stood there with my mouth open for like 20 seconds, which is an extremely long time in a stand-up set to be like, absolutely terrible, right? So why did I start my story today with this, with the stand-up comedy bomb? One is to tell you that I'm still alive. I did something that terrified me, and I sucked fantastically at it, and I lived. Secondly, the bomb actually made me better, because I bombed so bad at that stand-up, every talk that I did thereafter was actually a lot better, a lot tighter, okay? So failure can actually make you stronger. And then the real thing I want to talk about today is the topic of my set, which is that push and pull between the life that you currently have and the life that you really desire, okay? So I've taken to calling this the elder millennial life crisis. I'm glad you find this funny because I've lived through this, okay? You don't exactly have to be an elder millennial, but it happens when you get to be around 40, give or take 15 years on either direction. So it's really any time in your adult life where you can literally look in the mirror and be like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? No, really, it's that question of, is this all there is? And you kind of feel weird asking yourself that question because you might have a good life. You might have a great job, you might have a family, friends, vacation, a house, whatever. And so you're even wondering if you have the right to ask that question, okay? Can anyone relate to this? Yeah. It's a little bit like a sweater that you bought 10 years ago that no longer fits. It's a little bit too small, it's kind of itchy, it's a style you liked back then, but you wouldn't pick it now. Yeah. Elder millennial life crisis, trademark coming soon, okay? So what do we do about it? Well, we get creative. And luckily, we are in the right room for that. So who here wants to get creative around solving the elder millennial life crisis? Great, okay. I want everybody to close your eyes. It's a safe space, okay? And ask yourself this one question. What do you really want to do with your life? What do you really want to be? Suspend reality for a moment. This doesn't have to be the job that you're in, or the city you live in, or the person you're with, or any of the details that are true today, okay? Think deeply about what your days would look like. What are you doing? Who are you with? What are you eating? What are you wearing? When you fall asleep at night, what are you telling yourself? Okay, sit with that a little bit longer. Open your eyes if you're ready. How did that feel? Great, right? It felt great. And I want to congratulate you because you guys are, in fact, creative. We know everyone here is creative, but look what you just did. You took 20 seconds to paint a vision for your life out of thin air onto a blank slate. You did that, okay? But it begs the next question. You are creative, but what are you creating? There's a difference. There's a difference between being creative and creating, and what lies in that gap is action. It's movement, which is what we're here to talk about today. It's the global theme. And I truly believe in my bones that everyone in this room has a movement inside of them. Do you feel that? Some of our movements have worldwide impact. They address injustice. They serve humanity. And for some of us, our movements are for our community, for our family, or for our damn selves. Okay? But a movement doesn't become a movement without movement. You've got to do shit. You've got to take action toward your mission. So I want to take just a hot minute to tell you a little bit about my movement. It's called Grab Life by the Goals, as Matt said. And it's my mission to make your goals unfuckable with and to help you get there faster and funner than if you did it on your own. And the way we do that is through coaching, community courses, and crazy fun events. That's it, right? I won't read you this slide. This is kind of my resume, I guess you could say, but I am a professionally certified coach. I've been doing this for 7 years. I've coached at Fortune 500 companies and spoken on stages and launched a community called The Squad. We have some squad members here in the room today. Hey guys. Right? And some other cool shit that's up on the slide. All of this was once a vision in my head with my eyes closed, just like you guys just did a moment ago. And it weirds me out to think about the alternate reality because my background is from investment banking. I could still be there. I could be at work right now at the bank. And that's such a weird thought to me because it's so different. This is my life now. I am living my movement, and I got there through some messy action, okay? So like I said, I spent a year in coach training. I've been doing this for 7 years. This is the best and fanciest life advice I have for you. All on this little flow chart. Do you know what you want out of life? For those of us who were like, no, I don't. Was there anybody just now visualizing saying, nothing came up, I don't know what I want? Okay, good, not too many of you, but this is normal. And so you just start with happiness. You don't have to have a big, hairy, audacious goal. But if you don't know what you want out of life, you have to figure out what makes you happy right now. And the answers will reveal themselves. We do this in the squad. It's called the happiness sprint, okay? Sounds like the rest of you know what you want. And so my best advice for you is to quit dicking around, period. Right? Quit dicking around. So what this means is there's something standing between you and movement, and we have to get that stuff out of the way. We have to clear those impediments. So I'm going to show you how I did this in my life to inspire you to take movement toward your mission as well. All right. Blocker number one is I don't have time. So you're like, sure, Lauren, I would start that podcast or start that business or travel the world or start my nonprofit if I had time. Can anybody relate to that? Yeah, this was my life. This was my past life, okay? I started this business that I run now over 7 years ago as a side hustle to my investment banking job. I had no time. That job was demanding as hell. Literally, I had teams on 3 continents. I was commuting 2 hours a day, traveling to New York City for work and for coach training, and I was seeing my new clients. I had a 3-year-old daughter, and I was pregnant. Unexpectedly, that was a surprise, okay? So I know what you mean about having no time. But when I was in New York City one weekend at that coach training program, complaining about all this, the master coach in the room looked at me and she said, Lauren, when did you become time's bitch? Yeah, it blew me back in my chair, and I was like 8 months pregnant, so that was hard to do, okay? But it's a good question, right? She was like, who's in the driver's seat here? If you keep telling yourself this story that time is ruining your life or blocking you from having what you want, you'll never get what you want. And damn, she was right. So when I realized that I could bend time to my will, that I could collapse time, and that I could make choices around my time, I was able to do this. I was able to build this business when I had no time. And a little side secret here, I'm horrifically terrible at time management. I don't have any skills that y'all don't have. Terrible at time management. Totally disorganized, crippling ADHD, okay? So I don't have any special skills that you guys don't have when it comes to time. Trust me. Okay, I'm not ready. Anybody feeling that? I'll do it next year after this project, after the babies get out of preschool, after. Does anybody feel like they're not ready? Good news, ready is not a requirement. All right? Let me give you a real life example. Right now, I am speaking to the largest live audience that I've ever spoken to. Thanks, guys, thanks. Do you think I'm ready? Do you think I was ready for this? I am not the least bit ready for this. I'm terrified. I'm sweating down my shirt, okay? I've never done this before. You're witnessing somebody real time taking an action that they're not ready for. Do you guys believe that that's possible for you too? Yeah. 100%. Here's another quick example. So one of my big dreams is to host conferences in arenas with 6,000 people in them, to be exact. I'm clearly not ready for that, all right? Oh, thank you. I love Creative Mornings. Okay, thank you. So I did stuff I wasn't ready for. I hosted my first one in 2021, booked a room at the Grand Boho, and how many tickets did I sell? 4. It was special. Okay, I swung again. Okay, maybe I'll do a retreat. Maybe that's what people want. So 9 people showed up. Awesome. Wasn't ready, never did that. Then we had a conference, the C-Suite conference, in March of last year. We had 35 people, had no clue how to run one of those. And then this January, a couple months ago, I took the biggest leap of faith and booked a ballroom at the Marriott uptown before selling a single ticket. She was not ready, right? Not ready. But we did it. And so that's what I want to teach you guys too, is that ready is not a feeling. It's a decision. And it's a decision you can make right freaking now, this morning. You feel me? Okay. Anybody worried they're going to try the thing and it's not going to work out, that they're going to fail? Yeah. Who here identifies as a perfectionist, or they like to have a nice plan? They like to have a plan. I have good and bad news for you, okay? It doesn't matter whether you make a plan or not. You are going to fail. Great motivational speaker, right? No, any worthy goal is going to include failures along the way. Period. It's part of the process. I have had some of the most gnarly failure stories you can imagine. In fact, I started this business because I got fired from my dream job. Okay? I intended to be out of the bank with this side hustle in 6 months. It took me 2.5 years. I missed that goal spectacularly. In 2021, I lost, well, let me be honest, I squandered away almost $100,000 in poor business decisions. I've had workshops and webinars that nobody showed up to. I've been told no 1,000,000 times on sales calls. I could go on, okay? But failure is the richest source of data there is. So in the squad, we really don't even like the word fail. We don't pass or fail. We execute clinical trials. So think about how different your life would feel instead of saying, I'm going to try and sell something, and then if people don't buy it, you fail. Instead, we say, I'm going to execute a set of 3 or 4 clinical trials and discover which ones work and which ones don't. It removes the sting of failure, and you are in command of your energy, which allows you to keep going instead of get knocked out energetically when you fail. Do you guys see the difference? It is a mindset changer. It is a life changer. And this doesn't just apply to business and career. It applies to relationships, to everything in your life. Okay. I should mention, this is an episode of my podcast that I recorded in the depths of my business, me almost quitting my business in 2021, called Everything is Fucked. It's a great episode. I should probably take it down from the internet. I'm just sobbing into a microphone, so. Lest you think I'm the speaker on stage with all the answers, I go through the roller coaster just like everybody, okay? I fail as much as I succeed, and that's why we're here today. All right. We'll explain this in a minute. Who here feels like the thing they really want to do, nobody in their life will get it? Nobody gets this thing. Or furthermore, who feels like if they go for the thing, they're going to be judged by Aunt Cindy or unfollowed on Instagram. This was me. Going from investment banking to life coaching sounded to my banking friends like I was running off to the circus, okay? But when you step authentically into who you are, that's what allows you to serve humanity, okay? What does all this have to do with the giant penis spray painted in my backyard? Well, it's a really critical part of my personal brand. If you follow me online, I love my F-bombs, I love my penis jokes, and so many other things that I never could have done when I was trying to be this perfect professional banker lady, executive coach, frankly fake version of myself, okay? So what this is, I have a swimming pool in my backyard, and when they came to spray paint the outline, this is what they spray painted, and we thought we were being punked. And so ever since, this became a real swimming pool, by the way, but ever since we've called it the penis pool, and our squad parties gather around the penis pool. Anyway, as you can see, this is what I do. When someone hands me a mic, I talk about penises. The truth is, though, there is risk in authenticity, right? There are people who do judge me, but the reward is worth it. I promise you. All right, so some of you are sitting here being like, this all sounds good, Lauren. I really do want to go off and start that business or that nonprofit or be a digital nomad or whatever it is you want to do, but I can't just quit my job. To which I would say, no shit. Who can? Who can just quit their job? Are you all sitting on piles of money? Because I was not, all right? So the first thing I have to tell you is you don't have to quit your job to be happier. The thing you want to do can be a side hustle or a passion project, or you can incorporate it into the work you do and be an entrepreneur, okay? It does not cost any money to be happier. And furthermore, a lot of the things you want to do don't require capital, okay? But let's say you do want to quit your job. Let's say you're watching me and being like, damn, she did it. Maybe I could do it. Well, there's a playbook. This is not actually a mystery. If you do want to transition from the job you have now into making your passion your livelihood, there's a responsible path to it. Go to my website, laurenwidrick.com. This thing is free to download. It's called the Freedom Fund Calculator, and it helps you see how much cash you would need to earn or save in order to make a responsible exit with some money in the bank, okay? I couldn't just quit my job. The point is, don't let these fears that it's impossible hold you back. I did it. So many of my clients have done this. I've helped almost 150 people start and grow businesses at this point, and a ton of them have made this escape plan. So it's not something that's unattainable to you. I promise, there's a playbook. All right, we're getting close to landing the plane here, guys, but going all in on your goals is like riding a roller coaster. This is me and my family. I promise no children were harmed in the riding of this roller coaster. The little one looks a little, might need therapy. You want to get on, you want to get off, you love it, you hate it, you're holding on for dear life, you kind of want to puke. And then when it's over, you want to do it all over again. The best way to do this is to make sure that you don't do it alone, okay? Because when you are unsupported and around people who don't understand what you're doing and let you off the hook when it gets hard, you will never stay on course. I have tried to quit my business 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And there are people in this room who wouldn't let that happen. And if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be standing here, which is why I developed the Grab Life by the Goals method, okay? People, playbooks, parties, and permission. So people I just talked about. You need people who get you, who push you, who are there for you, who give you their shoulder to cry on. It makes all the difference in the world. Playbooks, stop with the Google scroll hole. This has been done before. Whatever it is you want to do, whether it's the nonprofit, whether it's the podcast, whether it's the book, there are playbooks for this. We have them in the squad. Parties. If your goal isn't fun, what's the point? There is none. It is all about your experience of life, and if you're not partying a little bit along the way, you might as well just call it in my opinion. And then lastly, permission. I want you to give yourself permission to want what you want and to go for it, okay? Release the shame that what you want is weird or unattainable or nobody's gonna get it. And then give yourself permission that now is the time to express those gifts to the world. Okay, I'll end on this. it's nothing short of your moral obligation to live your fully expressed life. I believe that, okay? Because first, you love your own life. You get to experience everything this world has to offer. And in doing that, you serve humanity with your gifts, okay? I'm serving humanity in a totally different way than I did back in banking. And when you don't go for it, you're robbing humanity of what you have to offer. And then lastly, when you go for it, you inspire others to do the same, just by having them watch you do it. I turn 40 years old tomorrow. Thank you. I turn 40 tomorrow, and I will be damned if I spend another year of my life living anything below my full potential, because I refuse to rob humanity. So if you want to get on this wild and wonderful roller coaster with me, you know where to find me. I'm right here. Thank you.